Welcome to the summary of Talk to Me Like I'm Someone You Love. Relationship Repair in a Flash by Nancy Dreyfus, PsyD. Let's uncover the gems together. Key point 1. The healing power of words. It's amazing how much words can do in relationships, right? Certain phrases can make or break your connection, depending on how you use them. Couple psychotherapist Nancy Dreyfus has spent years observing how couples use or don't use words to resolve conflict situations. She sought to create a system to help partners transform their relationships into moments of understanding, which is how flashcards for real life were born. These cards contain 127 honest messages that can quickly change the course of a relationship and bring partners closer to each other. But getting through all 127 phrases can be overwhelming in a world of thousands of things to do. So, we have selected the best messages to improve your relationships today. Be patient. Understanding and change often take time. Remember that you can use these phrases not only with a romantic partner, but with your kids, parents, or other close people. You can write them on separate pieces of paper, organize them into a system, stick them on the refrigerator, or just remember the main essence of the message. Ready to take notes? Stick with this summary. Key point 2. How to regain a lost connection. Have you ever felt like you and your partner can't hear each other? Sometimes, it seems like you speak different languages or are from distant planets, and you wonder what brought you together. The first thing to realize is that losing touch is normal. In a relationship, two different worlds meet. Therefore, mutual understanding requires constant effort. But even at the most critical moment, you can step back and reduce the tension. When you feel like you're in the wrong place, try saying something like, "This is terrible. Let's stop and try to listen to each other truly." With this phrase, you inform your partner that you also do not like what is happening and offer a solution to hear everyone's truth. By offering to listen to each other, you say, "I admit that I did not listen to you carefully, and now I regret it." Such a sincere offer could disarm your partner and make them take the same step toward you. Try listening to the other person first if you want to be heard. But what if the tension between you and your partner has peaked? What if anger has gone beyond reason and turned into outright rage? Most often, we tend to freeze in fear or react aggressively in such situations. However, there is a phrase that can reduce the degree of tension. It conveys a coded message that your partner does not need to fight and is safe with you. Try to say at the height of an argument, "I'm scared right now of you." What is the magic of these words? We often show aggression precisely when we feel our vulnerability and insignificance. But the need to attack disappears when our opponent admits they also feel weak. At this moment, you turn from aggressors into two vulnerable people who are now scared and unsafe. Try bringing your fear and vulnerability into communication with your partner and watch how it reduces tension and leads to greater love and understanding. This is your relationship for goodness sake, and it should be worth the effort. Nancy Dreyfus, PsyD. Key point 3. The true value of vulnerability. It is essential to remember that the experience of interacting with the world and adults in childhood affects us throughout our later lives. Not all of us were lucky enough to have parents who recognized our vulnerability and helped us cope with this feeling. Of course, no one is to blame here because our parents are the same children that adults didn't teach to accept vulnerability. However, the fact remains, we must learn to coexist with our inner world to build a strong relationship with our partners. What does it mean to coexist with the inner world? The fact is that whenever someone touches our vulnerability in some way, our defense mechanisms are triggered. For example, a sarcastic remark to a partner about how cute they were when flirting with a colleague is often caused by a feeling of abandonment. Defense mechanisms are usually activated when we feel that our partner doesn't love us enough or underestimates us. However, there is a way to relieve this pressure of habitual response patterns. When you feel hurt by your partner's words or behavior, try saying or showing them a card that says, I feel small and insignificant when you talk to me like that. Here, you no longer struggle with your vulnerability, but accept it as part of your experience. It helps you come to terms with your inner world. Building relationships with others will be easier if you know yourself and your inner child. Taking responsibility for your feelings and behavior can help in different situations. Picture yourself as a partner who is so engrossed in their reaction to their lover's story that they miss the story's point. Suppose your partner told you about how a passerby helped them find their lost phone, but you only could think about how irresponsible it was to carry a phone in their pocket. Of course, it's normal to have certain feelings and reactions to your partner's words, but have you really heard their story? And if, at this moment, you find the courage to admit your inattention and say something like, "I admit I missed the point. Please give me another chance," your partner will appreciate your honesty.
Congratulations, you've hit a daily streak.
Key point 4. Voice your feelings. Just as our words and actions affect others, their behavior and utterances also affect our emotional state. Have you ever noticed how a careless phrase from your partner can ruin your mood? However, the fact is that those around us do not always realize their influence on us. Some phrases, or rather their form, may be usual for your partner and completely unacceptable for you. The question arises, how do they know that their words and behavior hurt you? You might think it's easy to tell by your facial expressions and mood swings. However, it's natural for people to focus more on themselves than others, so the most effective solution is to tell your partner about your feelings. Many of us could not openly tell our parents how their behavior or words affected us in childhood. Perhaps your parents did not allow you to express anger because they could not bear such strong feelings. But now, as an adult, you can bring all your feelings into a relationship with your partner. When you feel stuck or frustrated by your partner's behavior, use these cards. "I don't feel like you can hear me." Or, "You're taking up so much space right now. I don't feel like there's room for me." In both cases, you provide information about your feelings and make your discomfort visible to your partner. It will help you define your boundaries and align your positions. People can't read your mind, so let them know your feelings. But what if your feelings are exaggerated? Have you suddenly become so consumed by resentment that you've already lost touch with reality and painted the worst scenarios? Sometimes we drive ourselves to despair and doubt our partner's love because of their careless phrases or rude looks. The best thing to do in such a situation is to check your feelings. You can say, "When you talk to me like that, I think you don't respect me. Is it true?" By checking with reality, you not only inform your partner about your feelings, but also allow them to express their point of view before taking offense. Did you know? Approximately 47.5% of clients can benefit from couples therapy within 7 weeks, according to the Gitnux report for 2023. Key point 5. Why I'm sorry changes it all. The power of the words "I'm sorry" in a relationship with a partner is not always easy to see, and the reason may lie in the commonness of this phrase. We apologize for any little things several times daily. However, these words carry a different energy when communicating with a loved one. If you give your partner an "I'm sorry" card after an argument or misunderstanding, they'll know you care about their feelings and take responsibility for what happened. However, there are situations when asking for forgiveness is not enough. In moments of anger, we can say things we will later regret. At such moments, remember the card, "I am ashamed of how I treated you." This expression encodes your regret and recognition that your partner does not deserve such treatment. Your loved ones will appreciate your willingness to admit you were wrong. Remember the healing power of love even when you think all is lost. Another powerful force that can fix even the most stalemate situation is, of course, love. Please do not rush to consider it banal. Indeed, all our attempts to improve a relationship with a partner, and even the fact that you have opened this summary, are about love. When, amid an argument, You suddenly realize that all these shouts and insults are just the need of each participant for love. Give your partner one of these cards. I love you and don't want our relationship to resemble a struggle. I love you, and it is tough for me to see that when you feel bad. You may think that when emotions rage during an argument, it is impossible to recall all these phrases. However, remember that it is normal not to catch them in the first few seconds. Here is a rough action plan that may help you. During a conflict, take a moment to calm down. You can even go to another room. Connect with your feelings. Think about your partner's feelings. Consider what you could say now that would support both of you. Say it, or just give your partner a piece of paper with a phrase written on it. How can you not respect, if not love, someone who only wants the truth? Nancy Dreyfus, PsyD. Key point 6. Caring for intimate relationships. Intimate relationships are so delicate that even the slightest misunderstanding can lead to more tension rather than satisfaction. A rude word, inattention, or insult during breakfast can easily cause the deterioration of intimate relations and lack of desire. In addition, there are specific differences in attitudes toward sex between men and women. As Nancy Dreyfus points out, presence is significant for women. It is essential that a man gives quality attention and breaks away from their iPad to be fully present. Men, in turn, do not want to be rejected and think about how to minimize this risk. That is, both men and women think about sex, although in slightly different ways. Phrases that will help you synchronize with your partner and establish emotional contact are the first step to physical satisfaction. If you feel like you're missing out on physical intimacy, try this card. I know it's important for you to talk about our relationship first, but if we could touch each other right now, it would make me feel closer to you. Sometimes, your partner needs to feel you in their space to connect. But if you feel that you don't want sex right now, you can say it directly. It's true. I'm not in the mood for sex right now, but I love you, and I don't want you to think this is a bad sign in our relationship. With these words, you can kindly explain your unavailability to your partner. How you interact with your partner during the day affects your intimate relationship in the evening. Ultimately, all these phrases lead to having a relationship based on trust. We've all heard about the importance of trust, but what does it mean? It's about having a safe space to express all your feelings and even distrust. Therefore, do not be afraid to talk openly with your partner, even when you do not like your behavior. For example, when your emotions have overwhelmed you, use the card. Honey, I feel like I'm starting to lose my temper. What can we do to prevent this from happening? You honestly confess your feelings to your partner and ask them for help. Isn't it about true trust and love? Conclusion. It's said that building relationships takes work every day. And of course, there is truth in this, but why not make the job easier? Having in your arsenal not only specific phrases, but also a deep understanding of your and their feelings and reactions will help you both find that unique state of mutual understanding and support. Also, if one of the partners tries flashcards for real life, it may encourage the other to do the same. After all, when two people make an effort for each other, isn't that what love is? Try this. Voice your vulnerabilities during conflicts to reduce tension and promote empathy. Discuss your needs openly, particularly in an intimate relationship, to enhance closeness and trust. Consider seeing a couple therapist if you feel your relationship needs help. That's all for now. More intriguing summaries are just a click away.